Okay, last time we talked I was leaving Front Royal, Virginia, headed towards Harper's Ferry, which I did. Harper's Ferry is also the home of the Appalachian Trail Conservancy headquarters, so everybody has to stop in there to have a photo taken and get any updated information on conditions, what's going on, and just points of interest. So it's nice to stop in there. They're very helpful, and of course they have everything we need as hikers, internet, Wi-Fi, refreshments, and any tips or pointers you need. So I'm sure all through hikers and section hikers are stopping in there anyway. I think their hours are 9 to 5, 7 days a week. But again, very helpful. A lot of tourists go in there too, it's somewhat of a museum, and they have trinkets and stuff for sale as well. So people go in. And while I was there were some people that wanted to do some very local hiking, and they were looking for information on where a good place to start while they're in Harper's Ferry, just to get a small taste of it. And the staff was helpful for them as well. After Front Royal, let's see, had the roller coaster, which is these short coupled up and down hills. I think like 700-foot climbs. I think there's a dozen, maybe 13 of them, but they're very short coupled. It's up one, down the other, and you just keep doing that for 13 and a half miles. Now, I knew about that part of the roller coaster. What I didn't know, once again, was the rocks. There were some areas the rocks are just brutal. And I guess that's the way it's going to be. There's no point in even asking about rocks anymore. We've seen them from the beginning, and they just get worse. So when somebody does mention rocks, it's just got to be a lot worse than what I've already seen, and I can't imagine it getting too much worse. But now that I'm in Boiling Springs, north of me, from what I understand, it's going to get worse. Some people go through a pair of shoes just going through the rocks in Pennsylvania. But I'm told they're different than all the rocks we've seen already. More of boulder scrambling, that kind of thing. So anyway, 3/4 of the way through the roller coaster, there's a hostel I stayed at. It's Bear's Den. And I gotta say, it's probably the best hostel I've seen on the entire trail so far. I don't expect to see anything to top it. So if you are going through and you're looking for a place to stop, in my opinion, they have different packages for through hikers. I mean, simply a bunk, and you can go all the way up to a hiker special, which is $30 for a bunk, a shower, a pizza, a soda, and a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. They have a computer, no Wi-Fi on the premises, but they have a computer with internet, a gathering room upstairs. It was just a great place to stop and stay overnight. They open, I believe, at 5 p.m., and I think you have to be out by 9 a.m. It's not after you finish the roller coaster, it's 3/4 of the way through. So I believe after I left the hostel the next morning, I still had 3 big climbs before getting into Harper's Ferry. But it was a great place to recharge and relax, so I enjoyed it, and it's something you can consider. Also, I had some friends that stayed at Black Bear, I think it's called Blackburn Center. It's a Potomac Appalachian Trail facility. They do some cooking there for you, overnighting both inside and a screened-in deck. Beautiful scenery. I did stop by there to check it out. The scenery from that position is just spectacular. It was a private residence that I believe a doctor owned in the early 1900s, and somehow it ended up in the hands of the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club. But the scenery is beautiful, the place is beautiful, and it's another option to stay. I'm sure it's a little less. They don't offer the food package that the Bear's Den hostel did, but a nice place nevertheless. They have a solar shower outside. I have a couple of pictures of that as well. Once in Harper Ferry, the history is rich. Just so much going on. I enjoyed at least a solid half day, 3/4 of a day, just taking pictures and exploring some of the Civil War history. It was quite a place to be. National park as well. What's different about this, most national parks have very restrictive driving, where you park a car and you do a lot of walking. In this case, Harper's Ferry, the roads are open to the public. You can just drive down. I mean, business is conducted, residences are mixed in with some of the historical architecture and stuff. So it's easy to get around for most people. And it was pretty packed as well, which brings me to a point, through hikers going into Harpers Ferry, you should plan early, make a phone call or an email to the hostel of your choice. But it never occurred to me that the component of tourists that were going to be there, so everything fills up fast. There was only one hostel left and available that I did stay at, and you should do some planning on it. I'm told from this point on, everything available will be booked at all times. So keep that in mind when you're coming through. A lot of history there. Also, a section of the trail was closed, very small section coming in to Harpers Ferry, and it was the power company, utility company, had a helicopter that was trimming trees that were growing close to the power lines. So they had this helicopter with a sling on the bottom, and I kept calling it in the videos a chainsaw. It wasn't actually a chainsaw. It was more like a mill saw, like a circular saw type blade. But it was just cutting these trees to ribbons, and you could see the tree limbs falling from Harpers Ferry. The locals said that this has been going on for several days, and they were kind of used to it and didn't see it much. While I was there, they were always just off to the side, and you could hear the noise. It's probably a private company that's under contract to do the job, because it didn't appear to be a 9-to-5 operation. It appeared to be sun up to sundown, and I'm told it went right through the weekend, including Sunday. So they probably had a contract to go in and do the job, and they were probably trying to take advantage of the good weather and the sunlight and get the job done. But it was neat to watch. I've never seen it. I knew the technology existed. It also appears to be very dangerous for the pilot, because he's got this cable with a saw underneath him, and he's close proximity to power lines, cutting limbs and trees. I saw several limbs fall that get entangled with the saw and pull the helicopter down to the ground, and that's just part of the job. But I think it would be safer working at a firework factory or a gunpowder factory than doing this kind of work. Very dangerous. I'm sure they know what they're doing and they get good, but very high risk. But it was neat to watch it and see it happen. Okay, left Harpers Ferry into Maryland. Maryland was sweet. Initially, it's what they call a tow path, because they have a canal along the Potomac in Maryland. And they had these barges where mules would pull the barges through the canal. So the path is extremely flat and wide. There's hikers, bikers, walkers, everyone's on it. But it was very enjoyable, and you could move really fast because you're used to the up and downs, and here you are in this, what it appears to be, I called it the Autobahn of Appalachian Trail, but enjoyable to walk on it. And Maryland was quick. Then into Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania, just as nice in the beginning, no real hills to speak of. I didn't see a lot of rocks for the most part, walking on beds of pine needles. Before, I think it's called Pine Grove Furnace State Park, there's the halfway mark of the Appalachian Trail. And I was looking for that. It's typically worth a picture. And before I got to it, a couple from Vermont had told me, you're standing at the halfway point. But I actually wasn't there yet, and I said to them, no, that's still up ahead, I'm not there. And they assured me, no, you're at the halfway point, and they directed me to a little sign next to a state park bulletin board. And next to that bulletin board was an enclosed 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that says 2017 halfway mark of the AT. So the geographical halfway mark changes every year as the trail changes. And I thought they moved the big marker to the new location, but they don't. That stays at a position that it's been in, I don't know, for years, probably since the 80s. And it's a small marker that they moved to the geographical center. So I was going to walk right by. If those people weren't there, I would not have even known that document existed or that place existed, and I just wouldn't have known. I would have gone to the traditional post and taken a picture and thought that was it. But in fact, there's two markers out there. The geographical one that changes every year, and it's a small marker. And then there's the one that's more traditional with the flags, and it's more towering, and that's the one I think most people see. Other than that, the views in Pennsylvania weren't that great leading up to Boiling Springs. It's different. There seems to be a lot of control burn being prepared in some of the areas. A lot of trees that are down, small brush that's down, and notices that they're going to conduct a control burn to clean up that area from the brush. That's probably taken place a little later in the month. I didn't see that, but the prep work was all in place. Then into Boiling Springs, and Boiling Springs is a nice town, and the trail when it comes out is right into town. There's an outfitter. He has freeze-dried meals, butane, anything you need. The prices seem fair to me. Accommodations are plenty, places to eat. It was nice. And it looks like the town's protected by a World War II naval gun on the shore of a lake. I got a couple of pictures of that. So, moving on north to finish up Pennsylvania. Several opportunities to resupply. Duncannon, Port Clinton, Palmerton. Not exactly sure where I'm going to stop, but Pennsylvania will probably be done, I'm thinking, in another 7 days. And Jersey's not all that much. It's the northwestern portion of Jersey, and then into New York. So it's starting to move kind of fast. I'm noticing the hostels are kind of going away, evaporating, and I've come to like them because they're a great affordable place to overnight. But now it seems to be motels, and I'm noticing the prices are starting to go up. So as we get into the New Jersey, New York area, I expect it to be a little more pricey for just about everything, lodging, food, that kind of stuff. And I don't know what the opportunities will be for resupply, but I'll see as it comes along. There are some choices, but it's not what I've been accustomed to, so that'll make planning a little difficult. So that's about it. Alex, I know you're out there. I think you're 2 days behind me. I got an email from your mom, said you hurt your legs, shin splints, sounds familiar. And you were down for 5 days, so I hope you're doing better. I'm sure we're going to meet up at some point. I know you're getting off the trail in Jersey for family, so I'm seeing the same people, give or take. Everybody seems to be moving at the typical pace, but it is moving faster now. The terrain is becoming more friendly, and that should last until mile 1500, which I believe is Massachusetts, with the first climb being Greylock, highest mountain in the state of Massachusetts. So I'll see you probably in another week with an updated video, and until then I'll show you some videos and some photos. Also, the Trail Magic, I have to mention, Trail Angels, Trail Magic. I'm just running into it all the time, and I really appreciate it. And as I said, these are people I'll probably never see again, and some of the people you don't even know. But very grateful for their kindness. It is a boost. It seems to appear when you need it. It's amazing. They do say when you need something on the trail, it will appear. And I remember the video I did about the water bottle showing up on the trail when I needed it. And most recently, I had a Z seat at home to take on the trail to sit on as I get to take breaks. But in lowering and reducing weight, I thought, I don't really use this, so I'm going to send it home. Well, of course, when I sent it home, that's when I decided I needed it most. And I said, next time I see one of those, I got to buy it at an outfitter. And I checked it a couple. They don't have them. And one evening, I was in a hostel, and as I'm just perusing through the hiker box, a hiker comes in, and he puts a Z seat in the hiker box. And I said, you getting rid of that? He goes, yeah, I don't use it anymore. I said, man, I've been looking for one. I was going to buy it. He goes, it's yours. So once again, it appeared, and I'm using it all the time, and it's something I needed, and it appeared. So this is for real. This really happens. I haven't wished for like a new Cadillac, but I guess you have to keep it real. So I'll go to the videos, some of the photos from the past week, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
I have nuts with salt.
I just met two young ladies that are offering me some trail magic. They came prepared, so that's always nice.
Oh, you're talking about us. Oh, gosh.
Of course, yeah.
I thought you were talking to somebody else.
I call it random acts of kindness, and I've been running into it for months, and it's a real boost, so I enjoy it. All right, thank you. I'm going to check. So soon I'll be entering the what they call the roller coaster before Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. And it's just constant up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Not very high, it's just constant. And it's, I guess, the last part of Virginia. And right after you go through the roller coaster, there's a hostel called Bear's Den. So a thru hiker just told me, absolutely stop at Bear's Den Hostel. It's $30 for a bunk, a shower, laundry, a pizza, soda, and a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I said, done deal. That's pretty good. I can't get over that. So I'm looking forward to that. That's probably, oh gosh, I'm thinking 20 miles, 30 miles from here. I'll probably be there Friday. So anyway, looking forward to that. Okay, checking out. So I come into camp last night, and this is probably the smallest shelter I've ever seen. It's called Dick's Dome. Pretty dated, old, but it is what it is. So I set up, cooked dinner, and was just ready to call it a night when I'm just taking a walk. And probably, I don't know, 500 yards away, I come upon this brand new shelter that it looks like they're not even completely finished. There's still tools and lumber here, but it's not on any maps. It's not posted. Hang on, I'll show you in a second. As I said, it's not on any charts yet. It'll probably be on the charts next year. But this is beautiful. Brand spanking new. Great views. So I packed up all my stuff and moved in last night. There's probably 6 people here. Very nice. Upper bunks, lower bunks, overhang to cook with a table. I can't even imagine what it costs. Probably a lot of money though. Okay, checking out. So which way to go? Well, it shouldn't be so bad. At least it's not foggy. Just getting ready to enter the roller coaster and trail magic. 2 cans of soda and you know, it's too early in the morning. It's going to be in the 80s today. So I'm going to leave that for some people when the sun comes out. But very nice. Checking out. So I've finally reached the roller coaster. I think it's about 14 miles of up and down, very short coupled ups and downs with rock scrambles. I'm told by some of the locals that the person who maintains this section of trail comes out at night just to sharpen the rocks so that hikers can get the full experience of the roller coaster. So, time to go. Checking out. I believe I've arrived at Bear Den's Hostel. We'll just check in and see. I think this is it. I'll let you know. Okay, I'm in Bear's Den Hostel. This is the inside. Let's see. I'll start at the door. Okay, this is the downstairs. Bunks are down here. Bathroom with a shower. A lot of AT themed murals and paraphernalia. This is the place I spoke of. They have a hiker special. $30 for the night. Includes shower, laundry, pizza, soda, and a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Wi-Fi, TV. I took the lower bunk over there. I'm the first one here. I got in at 5. This place opens at 5. Very nice, though. Refreshments, honor system. Also, they have clothes here. So before you do your laundry, you can take everything you have, put it in a laundry bag, and put on some loaner clothes while your laundry gets done. Here's what the building looks like. Beautiful place. Okay, walking down the hall, more bunks. Very well maintained. Photos from successful thru hikers. Mine's going to go in the bottom left. They left that spot for me. Computer with Wi-Fi. And laundry room with brand new. Oh, check that out. A boot mural. It says AT on it. Pretty neat. Brand new appliances. My laundry's in now. Yeah, I'm number 1. First one in the hostel. I already took a shower. Feel like $1,000,000. When I came in, the caretaker said, "Was it raining out or are you sweating?" And I was sweating because I did 20 miles of the first, I think 3/4 of the roller coaster, which isn't in itself brutal, but with my leg in the rocks, it was kind of tough. A scale, I'll check that. And that's about it. Upstairs is a family room or hiker room. Just if you want to talk, play games. Nice place. This has got to be the nicest hostel I've seen. Appalachian Trail map. Beginning to end. I am 1 day away from West Virginia. West Virginia. What else? I think that's about it. Okay. Alright, I'm going to sign out. Anything develops, I'll keep you posted. Checking out. Okay, my laundry's in the dryer. Go upstairs. I just put a pizza in the oven. Oh, look at that. This is the upstairs. Kitchen facilities. A couple of ovens here. My pizza's in this one. Like a family room, gathering area for people. Beautifully done. Guitar, piano. McKenna, if you were here, you could play the piano for us. Very nice. More information boards and photos, and very nice. Oh my gosh, my first bear. It's not real. I don't know if this counts. Big gathering area for eating. Very nice. And now I have like a little store with candy bars and restock items. Looks like some people are paying right now. So this is definitely the nicest hostel I've come across. Okay. Checking out. This is the Blackburn Outdoor Center, which is the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club. And this is their homemade solar shower. Pretty cool. Neat. Just crossing the Shenandoah River into Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. Traffic's pretty heavy because it's Friday evening. And can't wait to get settled in and look around. A lot of Civil War history here. So, checking out downtown Harper's Ferry with the elevated Amtrak train tracks. Pretty neat. Shenandoah River. Water level seems a little high. And there's a lot of signage referring to many floods here that wiped out factories and mills along the shoreline. So it looks like an area that floods frequently. Checking out. I don't know if we'll see it, but a helicopter is coming into view, and it has a long sling with a chainsaw at the end, and it's trimming the trees along the power lines. The Appalachian Trail was closed in this section while they were doing the work. Being a Friday evening, I'm thinking he's finished, but you can see the sling and one serious chainsaw, and he's being directed by someone on the ground. Pretty cool. Helicopters, the most fun you can have with your clothes on. Checking out. Harry is lowering the chainsaw to a guide on the ground. It's giving him direction on. You can hear the saw running. And this is just outside of Harper's Ferry. Like I said, that section of the AT is closed because of the risk to safety, but amazing the size of the chainsaw. Why can't they sling ice cream and soda into us every once in a while? Okay, checking out. I don't know if you can hear it, but the chainsaw is screeching and big limbs are falling. Harper's Ferry train station. Tunnel goes right into the mountain. And this is the train station. That is incredibly dangerous work. I don't even think that guy could buy life insurance. I'm watching some big limbs go down and some of them get entangled in the chainsaw and pull him down with it. They say what's old is new again. If this is true, I could get a head start on the fashion trend for this fall and buy some new duds for when I get home. That would be the talk of the town, I'm sure. So this is historic Harper's Ferry, where John Brown, the abolitionist, took a stand against slavery and said he was done talking, that action speaks louder than words, and mustered a group of people to try to overthrow the federal armory and take up arms for themselves. It was before the Civil War, 1859, and it did fail. I believe when the military mustered its troops, it was commanded by General Lee. 10 people were killed in total. Only one soldier, though, a U.S. Marine immigrant from Ireland, and eventually John Brown was caught and hung. I believe he was born in Torrington, Connecticut, may have had a farm in Lake Placid, New York, and ended up down here. So a lot of Civil War history here, the architecture, the streets, it's beautiful. Check them out. So this is the Potomac running under the railroad bridge, and it meets with the Shenandoah. And during the Civil War, since electricity wasn't around, they used water power, and this was an industrial powerhouse for building weapons and just running mills and stuff. So a lot of history here, and a lot of it closed down just because after the Civil War it wasn't profitable anymore, and many of the structures just washed away from flooding. So the AT runs parallel with this train trestle, the Amtrak and Maryland commuter rail, right into the side of the mountain. So heading out. Where's the other half of that dog?
He's on a bun somewhere.
Aw, cute dog. Wow. It's the kind of dog that holds a flashlight for the burglar. Okay. I'll keep you posted, but it goes right through the mountain here, and the walkway does as well. I just see a plate on this bridge. It was built in 1893. That's amazing. Hello.
Under the train tracks. And I was like, oh, well, I'm standing here now. He's like, you're going to the train tracks.
You see, that works.
I'm confused. The bridge says it was built in 1893, but the tunnel was built in 1931. So did the train just stop here at a dead end for about
They were like,
30 years? Someday we're going to build that tunnel, Jake.
It'll be a nice tunnel one day.
Yeah, I thought maybe the tracks changed direction, but maybe they did back then. I
Who
don't know.
knows? Yeah, maybe it veered off around.
Got me. I just don't know.
Because it does look like, yeah, I don't
It's
know.
possible.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could have been
the
down
tunnel's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's odd.
Okay, in Maryland, on the AT through Maryland. It goes along the Potomac River, starting out. And it's flat, it's wide. It looks like the Autobahn of Appalachian Trail. It's absolutely beautiful. It's only 37 miles through Maryland. And they have a 4-state challenge on the AT where you can hit 4 states in one day. Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. 41 miles is a tough run without a pack. With a pack, that'd be really tough. Also, it's got to be 15 hours of moving really fast. But that's probably why they call it a challenge. But I'm going to decline that one since I've already passed Virginia and West Virginia, and there's only 2 of those states left. But I'll be out of Maryland tomorrow into Pennsylvania, the Keystone State. Okay. I know I'm being selfish, but they're on my trail. We've done all the hard walking, and now they're effortlessly riding bikes, some of them electric. It's just not fair, I tell you. It's just not fair. Some white watering in the Potomac. I'm guessing the water's a little high because it's spring with all the snow melt. Pretty neat. So if you want to travel on some of the park roads in Pennsylvania, the state park, they got a rules and regulations page. You can just pull over to the side and take 20 or 30 minutes to read that before you go down the road. It looks like they got everything covered though. I mean everything. So, oh well. I gotta tell you, some of these sections in Pennsylvania is just nice. Just pleasant trail. Nothing brutal yet. I'm sure the rocks will change that, but at the moment this is nice. So this isn't the actual halfway point anymore. The halfway point is further back, a couple of miles back, and it's on a little placard that I almost missed. It was like a park bulletin board that you know, listed the park and the forest in the area. And then next to it's a small 8.5 by 11 note that says, for 2017, this is the halfway point. So anyway, I bet a lot of people are going to miss the real one, but this traditional one will serve for a photo. So that's it, check it out. Pine Grove Furnace General Store. I was hoping it was open, but it doesn't appear to be. So, soda. There's some goose with the baby goose. No, they don't like me here. This is in Boiling Springs, and pretty neat. No, I don't think they like me. No, they don't. Some bad thunderstorms coming. I hope these guys take cover. I will be. Okay, gotta go.